If you've ever wanted to visit the Old West, this might be the place to go.
So we're predominantly a kids camp, and we do horse science riding, vaulting, animal science.
It's a little quiet right now, but still a lot of livestock on hand.
We have horses, cattle, sheep, goats, alpacas, chickens, and rabbits. Hi, my name is Gretchen Conwell, and we're here at Rawhide Ranch. I'm the animal director, so I oversee the animals and the animal programs since 2008.
With so many animals to watch over, prepping for disaster is always a priority.
In my position, it's all I've done is what if, what if, what if? What steps do we take to make sure we're prepared if this happens?
In May of 2014, it did happen, a wildfire.
I had been close to several wildfires, just living in the area in the last few years, but not actively involved in my position or personally. So this, the one in May was the biggest one for us here.
Evacuating is inevitable when a disaster strikes your area. So how can you prepare if you own large animals?
If you have a horse, we hope that you have a trailer so that you can safely evacuate your animals. And if you have 6 horses, make sure you have a trailer that can evacuate those 6 horses, or that you evacuate early enough so that you can evacuate 2 horses and come back and get the remaining horses.
With that in mind, Gretchen has some tips to make sure your horses can be identified wherever they end up during a disaster.
So a couple of things that you can have ready for you: duct tape, Sharpie, layout paint. These can help you to mark and identify your horses if someone does pick them up or they get dropped off at another boarding facility. You want to mark the halter and the horse. So we're just gonna take off a nice thick piece of tape here, and we're gonna attach it to the cheek piece. And then on the tape, we're just gonna write our name and our phone number. On the back of the duct tape, you can write the horse's name on it if you have time, or if they have any special needs, medications, special feed, diet, and then that way whoever reads this can contact you about what that might mean. So I'll just take them kind of over in the middle of the stall. So once your halter is marked, the next thing that you can do is mark your horse's hoof, and then that way if the halter becomes separate, we have a way of, again, identifying. And the Sharpie lasts a little while, probably not super long, but enough time to get your horse to wherever they're going. And doing 2 different hooves will help in case one does get wiped off, and then that way your options are better, that communication is going to be given, because you'll have 2, and you can see on the white hoof wall and the dark hoof wall, it comes up a little different. But just experiment and figure out what works best for your horse.
And if someone you don't know is picking up your horse for you,
get the license plate number, get a description. We don't want to think that something could, end up taking your horse somewhere else, but you need to be prepared.
It's also a good idea to have documents on your horse or other large animal.
What I like to do is to have these horse information papers set up, and you can easily get these online, and it talks about your horse, who owns them, if they're up to date on all the vaccinations, if there's any allergies, if there's any medical needs. It's also a good idea to attach a picture of them in the summer and in the winter, because their coats do change depending on the climate. So then that way, if there is an emergency and your horse looks a little different, you'll have a picture that backs that up as well.
Make sure to bring extra food, medicine, and grooming tools. You never know when you'll be back.
So as much preparation as you can do beforehand, like figuring out your system, that's all going to help you. It's going to save you a step, because when the actual evacuation or emergency is happening, you don't have that extra time or that clarity in your thought process to be able to make it happen.